Hey, this is OkayOkayOkOk, and we're working on Wonky Wendy in the Crumbling Candy Factory. This is the epic epilogue, issue number 4. Still working on a title for this issue. I think it's going to be Open Wide, maybe. It's kind of a weird phrase, open wide, when I see it written out. So I'm still debating on whether there's something better out there. If you have any suggestions for what you think a good title would be, feel free to throw them out there. Open Wide is kind of pertinent to what we're going to be seeing in this, because you might get a glimpse of what we're working on here and have your own thoughts on what could be. But yeah, it's going to be it's a really fun issue. There's some very crazy, wacky stuff happening. As always, peace, love, and wackiness. The weekend's coming up. I'm excited. Also happening right now is the Wendy Wonka Volume 1 on Kickstarter. I'm going to pull over some images. This is the DeviantArt gallery ad for it. The Wendy Wonka chapter 1 is back from I think I did it like 10 years ago, and it's the first 6 issues, and it's going to be a smaller comic. Here's the Kickstarter page for it. You can see the project has been backed. We are a go for launch. I don't know what we made it. So the goal was $300 and we've crushed it. We're up to a large amount, so that's good. Lots of books selling, so that's a really good feeling. We're also on the Twitter here. You can access the page, the Kickstarter page, with any of these links, and it'll get you back here. There are basically 2 rewards. I mean, you can get a commission, and it will be in addition to your Volume 1, or there is Volume 2, and that is an add-on. So everybody, the only reward is Volume 1. It's going to be about 130 pages, and you can get a commission for a candy ad to go in it, and the copy of Volume 1, or you can get a cover commission. Those are limited, so I think there's only one of it. Yeah, so one more commissioned cover is available if you'd like to get one. We still have all the candy ads available, but yeah, those are live right now, and it will end around Thanksgiving. I think November 30th is the last day to back this project and get in, and I'm trying to ship them out by mid to late January. If you'd like to get that for the holidays, that's going to be available until November 30th, and it's a 130 page Volume 1 for Wonky Wendy and the Crumbling Candy Factory through Kickstarter. Alright, so here we go. We're getting coloring on this. This is never done anything like this. I like to keep the comics fresh. Fresh as fruit. Fruity and fresh. So I like to, whenever I'm doing story or scripting and that kind of thing, I like to think, what can I do that I haven't done before? Or if I'm doing something, how do I give it a new kind of a twist or a new angle that hasn't been done, or that kind of thing. I don't like to just kind of repeat things, but I also use my commissions and all the projects that I've been commissioned to do to help guide me with what people are wanting to see, what people are paying to see. That all filters in and gets mixed into the inspiration so yeah, I think you're gonna get some interesting takes on the blueberry, and it's kind of like inflation, blueberry, vor, bondage. There's just a whole lot of, angles to this that are gonna make it quite a sight to see. It'll be a train wreck. You can't stop watching. All right, so let's get started on coloring. I'm over here in Photoshop as I normally am, and I'm going to, let's see, just use my color selector to let's turn off contiguous so that it makes it really easy to select everything. I don't know, what should we start with first? How about the blue skin? I'm gonna start with the blue skin, and I've done a little bit of coloring on each color so I can just sample the right color and keep the colors identical going through the whole page. Helps everything feel like you're looking at the same picture, just changing like a normal movie. So that's what we're doing here. We're gonna get onto the coloring layer, and if you have any questions, let me pull up the chat, because I figured out how to do that recently, and you know what? I don't remember what I did. So just hang tight real quick. This was an interesting podcast to listen to. I listened to the Bernie Sanders with Trevor Noah. I never really knew what happened to Trevor Noah after he left the Daily Show, but that was a good podcast. If you're scared of Bernie Sanders, you actually need to listen to something he says to understand what he's saying. I think a lot of people out there have tried to make Bernie Sanders sound like the scariest person alive and like your enemy, but he really isn't. The machine is against him. He should have been our president. I think he could have gone all the way, man. Let's see. I'm trying to get the chat, so I need to go onto my channel. Here we are. Let's open this up. I have to turn the volume off, I think. Aha! Join the chat. I wonder if I can hit a like. Can I like this? Sounds like that John Candy documentary. I like me. Yeah. All right. So, I don't think anybody's watching, so let me go ahead and share this. If you're watching in the replay, it's kind of a weird time of day to stream. I know it's like middle of the day on Friday, so I'm sure a lot of viewers right now, if you're watching this, it's your pop out chat. You're watching some other random day on a recording. So if that's the case, hello. Hope you had a good week. Let's get shared. There we go, share. We'll go ahead and post it here. And post it here. And share on the Discord. Now I think we're good to go. Alright, I've got a orange soda with me. It's Friday. Everybody excited for the weekend? I've been saving a really fun project for the weekend I'm excited to get to. Oh yeah, I was not doing hair. I don't know why. I guess I'm really excited about the hair. Okay, so blue. And I think I pretty much copy and pasted that, so I'll probably copy and paste to speed things along on this one. There are some differences, so I'll have to just kind of tweak. But let's see, how are we gonna do this? Because it's supposed to be flat. I wanted it to look flat. Probably like set a marker, like a chapter marker for. We are now beginning. We're now beginning the coloring process. So this is supposed to be like super round and like stuffed full. Lots of pressure in here, so that's good. It's gonna look like a buttocks. But it's actually, I guess this is her thigh. Alright, let's go with a new brush and rotate it slightly. I wonder if we should do like a shadow. We gotta make sure everything's going right. Yeah, I think my mic's on, the mic's hot. I'm gonna angle it slightly so it will pick me up better. I'm just listening to some copyright-free music because it's Friday. I can't just sit here in silence. Pretty good for copyright-free music. I have very low expectations when I'm searching for copyright-free music. Hello, Sob Cow. All right, so we got. I don't want to get too much of this going on. Let's go start doing minimal. What's the art app? I'm not sure what art app. I saw it on Amazon Prime. There was, what's it called? Secret Level. I think Secret Level is the name of the show, where they did a bunch of shorts on different video games, and one of them was Warhammer. They did a short, like a 20-minute movie on Warhammer, and the art, the visuals are just super impressive, and I wasn't really following the story of it, just kind of somewhat. Like, I could explain what was happening a little bit, but it was just really cool to watch. That's how a lot of those shorts are with Secret Level. Like, some of them, maybe I just wasn't paying very close attention, but it was very, like, I'm not really sure what's happening, but it's pretty amazing to watch. It was really late, so I think it was like 2 a.m. I was watching that, so probably didn't help. But I would definitely recommend checking that out, because it was just, I'm sure, you know, it's a short, so I'm sure there's clips on YouTube, but it was a very high-end production, high production value Warhammer. I guess it was Ultramarines, Space Marines. The context of the epilogue, I'm not sure if you are asking about this issue, but the context of the epilogue is the factory is pretty much completely destroyed, and Wendy and Brittany are kind of in charge of at least getting it back to somewhat operational standards, and it's kind of wrapping up everybody's story, because in the volume 2 we kind of just left everyone as they were, and you know, in Hollywood nowadays everybody has a story with the second ending. There's always an ending and then a second ending, so that's kind of what this is, where we're getting into what happened to everybody, and this will be a way to figure out what happened to everybody and their final little goodbyes. Okay, so I'm gonna get this little edge over here, give it a highlight to help kind of emphasize that it's an edge. Hello, Ghosty. Alright. Let's just use a pure white and maybe a different brush. I'm gonna use, where's that palette knife brush? There it is. You know what? This was the wrong one. Hard around. I think that was it. Anybody getting costumes ready for Halloween? Gonna get a little bit of I think now there's definitely a contour there. You can definitely follow that. And there's supposed to be like a hose in there with her, so I'm gonna try to kind of connect that so there's like a second item in there with her, causing a reflection. And let's go with a slight, not pure white, but let's have a little bit of a, I'm afraid if I do too much it'll start looking like too much too much sculptural, like the folds are too deep. I want her to look flat. She's been flattened by a machine. And she had like a bunch of foam cream inside of her, so when she got flattened, it all like got shot down to her legs. All right, let's do the where's the airbrush? Alright, so let's see. I think it's not bright enough. I'm gonna go with a brighter blue as well. And I'll show you the safe area. I think this is mostly gonna get cut off in the... This is the safe area down here. So, I mean, most of this is going to get cut off in the actual printed version. You can see the line here. This line here is basically all just bleed, all getting cut off. So digital viewers will get to appreciate that, but the printed version will not show that. The reason why the volume 1 on Kickstarter right now is a smaller comic, and I put this down in the FAQ because I think I mentioned it, and then someone asked for some clarity on it, so I wanted to make sure I'm being super clear with the Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Not the Wonky Wendy Volume 1 is going to be the same size as the Tales from the Crypt Keeper Volume 3, I think. So it's like a manga size. It's a little bit smaller than a traditional comic size. It's a little like a compact comic, and it's not going to be the same size as Volume 2. And the reason is when I started doing these comics, I just didn't ever anticipate it being more than a webcomic. So I did it at like a smaller page size than traditional comics, and if I wanted to do it on a traditional size, I'd have to redraw the entire comic. There's just no way to upscale it. Maybe there's a program now using AI that would be able to do that. However, I'm sure it would take a lot of time because it's not going to be perfect, and I don't even want to use AI like that. I think it would... I don't see AI being all that helpful. Like sometimes I remember back when it was first coming onto the scene, I was like, I'm gonna do an experiment, and I used AI to take one of my panels, and it did its own version of my panel, and then I went in and fixed that version of the panel, and it was like I spent as much time, fixing the AI version of it to where it looked right as I could have just drawn the entire comic panel. So it was just like, it's not saving time even. It's not a good tool, I believe, for comic art. So that's why I'm not like too worried about AI taking comic art jobs, where it's like, there's so many levels of the process that require like actual human decision making, that kind of thing, where it's like computers, I don't think they'll ever be able to do that. They can do comics, but they're just not going to have the same level like, oh, that was a great comic, I'm gonna, you know, suggest that to other people, or I'm gonna read that again, or that was worth that was really well done, or, you know, there's just like that, you can tell it's like derivative, and something was a little off about it. All right, so I'm going to go on to, I need to create a multiply layer. I'm going to make this a multiply layer. Oh, let's see. We'll get this, make this yellow. I like to make it yellow. So with this multiply layer, I kind of add a little bit of purple to kind of give it some interesting interest. Interesting interest. And we'll do some texture, so that way it doesn't feel so computer animated. It feels a little more realistic. All right, so now let's go with, we'll go with this again. Just kind of do like almost like a shadow. And I'm gonna get that darker, feel like it kind of goes into the background. And I really want this to pop, to stand out and pop off the page. So it's gonna really catch your attention. So I'm kind of increasing the contrast around her. And we'll keep this arm over here kind of in like the foreground. Not too much darkness on it, but since this is pretty far in the background and not of much interest, we're gonna darken it, have it kind of like fade into the back. Let's see if we can do like a hard edge to really make it look like tight and full. I'm gonna get a little bit heavier, a little bit smaller. So I should probably get like a smoke detail and go small. Okay. All right, that's looking really three-dimensional. So let's move on to, I guess, like skin tones. This is the skin tone I'm using down here. And try to figure out which brush to use here. I could go kind of keep it simple. I was thinking of using, I like to use the, what is it, the oil pastel brush. But I want her body to stand out in a different kind of way. It feels like a different texture, different object altogether. Let's see, where's the light source coming from? Her above, so maybe we'll do her heel in color, in light. I'm gonna make it soft. We must have switched from the house music, like the techno music, to some like relaxing music, because I'm not really digging this music quite as much. I feel like it's gonna put me to sleep. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, this is the, okay, we're gonna restart because I need that Friday energy. All right, so just as a side note, like the series is coming to an end. I know I meant to like end the series back at the end of chapter or volume 2, but you know, I wasn't even sure that I was going to do an epilogue until I started getting into it. I think I wrote about this on my DeviantArt post where I said, you know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get back into the series and not have it ended with volume 2, but you know, with all the people's stories not really being concluded, and then imagining ways on how to conclude it, coming up with some scenarios for it, and being like, whoa, actually we really should do this. Alright, so there will be a lot of, I think in the previous page, she's like getting honeyed. She gets honey all over. You can kind of see it over there on that next panel. So, I'm not really sure how we're going to do that, but probably should have done this on a multiply layer or something. Okay, so let's do highlights, a little more yellow. Okay, so I'm going to use the pastel brush for the leg highlights. And it should be fun, like drawing the honey on. Let's get the smoke detail so we can kind of make these highlights a little bit more realistic. Okay, and let's just go ahead and finish the first panel. Well, you'll see how the honey comes into play in the story, but the honey is her idea. I'm going to use like a giant brush and do kind of like a shade, and then let's go with a little bit darker. I think I might come in with the highlight and kind of continue the highlights into the red. I'm gonna try to get different sized brush strokes on here to help it feel good, I guess. Always helps seeing different size strokes. Okay, so now let's move on to the highlights. And take a sip of orange soda. This microphone is so good that I have to turn my head so it doesn't like pick up my swallowing. So like it doesn't sound like I'm swallowing directly into the mic. It's a pretty amazing microphone. It is October, which means it's Scary Movie Month, and for years, as long as I can remember being on DeviantArt, I try to put up my list of movies I'm watching on streaming subscription services, and what scary movies are available. It's gotten much better on these streaming platforms about, providing all the scary movies, like basically doing my job for me, the job I do for me, where it's very easy to find all the good scary movies. You just, find a category. And a lot of times, like Hulu got very good about catering to people like me who like watching scary movies all month long. So I've got my scary movie list going on Discord currently. I think I need to update it a little bit because I try to watch 1 or 2 scary movies every day. I try to at least have one playing while I work. Let's see. Last night I took a break from scary movies and I watched GoldenEye, the James Bond GoldenEye, just because it was on Amazon Prime and I've seen it and I've just been like, oh, I need to watch that sometime. I haven't seen that movie since, I can't even remember the last time I've seen that movie, but so much nostalgia came like flooding back. The GoldenEye on Nintendo 64 was a game I played way too much, and that game was, I lived in that game for a while. So I had forgotten so much about that movie. I forgot about the train. I forgot about the tank chase. What else did I forget? Like, there were several things like I completely spaced out and forgot. I remembered the guy being like, I'm invincible, and then freezing. I remember the giant satellite down in Puerto Rico. I had forgot, dude, the lady who enjoys killing people. I probably shouldn't say that, but the lady who's the bad guy. She is. She enjoys like putting her legs around them and squeezing the life out of them. Is that the same girl who's in Deadpool, like the wife of Deadpool? She looks very similar, and it can't be, because she looks really young. Right? She looks young in Deadpool, but they look very similar. Maybe they're like related or something. The wife of Deadpool, she was a pretty hot woman, and it was. I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, she does a pretty good accent of like trying to sound Russian, and it's funny. Like, you go back and these Bond villains are so. She's the funny Bond villain. Like, Alec was a very normal bad guy. Usually James Bond bad guys are like a work of art, you know, like somebody puts a lot of time and thought into making the Bond villain fun and like a caricature. Is Marina? Is that the same person who's in GoldenEye? Yes. Okay. That's amazing, because a lot of time went by between Deadpool and GoldenEye, and she does not look that old in Deadpool. Alex Trebek. Not. Wait a second. He's not Alex Trebek. What is that guy's name? Who plays James Bond in GoldenEye? He's my favorite James Bond, I think. I mean, I like Daniel Craig. I like all the James. I like Sean Connery, of course, but oh gosh, he's got a Pierce Brosnan. Golly, I can't believe 20 years went by since she was like. It's not like she was a teenager in GoldenEye. She was probably like. It looked like she was like 30 years old in GoldenEye. That's insane. It doesn't make any sense how she looks so young in Deadpool. It's like she ages better than Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is starting to look like he's aging. Not Asian, but looks like he's aging. I saw him in a commercial, the Switch 2 commercial, which, I mean, it's getting increasingly obvious that Hollywood is on life support because all the A-list actors are now doing commercials. And it's like they're desperate for money. I'm sure the companies are like laughing and having a great time being like, look at what we got. We can... You know, they feel like they probably have them under their thumbs. Like, oh, they're desperate. Haha. But, yeah. Late stage capitalism. Yay. Alright. So, now we've got... I guess we're going to need to do this cloth down here. I'm pretty much going to do this in all shadow, I think. She was 26 in GoldenEye. Well, Wendy is in this issue. She is not... Well, yes, she is in this shit. I mean, like, I haven't drawn out the whole issue yet, so I don't know how long this scene is going to take. But... we're gonna cut from this scene back to Wendy and Brittany in the elevator, service elevator shaft. So I'm 90% confident Wendy's gonna be back in this issue. Alright, let's get the multiply layer. I'm going to create a little bit of a shadow. Okay, next part would be her gloves. we've got her gloves and her fur, and then we'll be done. I think I grabbed some, yeah, there we go, color. We're gonna do a quick coloring on the gloves. We're gonna do most of it in shadow. Should probably just draw the whole thing in shadow and then color little highlights. This glove looks a little strange. The perspective on it looks a little off, so I'm going to try to fix it a little bit with the coloring. I've been seeing a lot of old movies lately, so I've been catching up on seeing some new old movies for the first time and seeing really like young versions of actors and being like, oh, I didn't know that that person was in this movie, or I forgot. The other movie I was watching that had Kristen Stewart in it, I'm betting it was her first movie ever. It was Kristen Stewart in Cold Creek Manor with Dennis Quaid, Sharon Stone, and some no-name guy as the son. I would recommend the movie. It was totally worth watching the entire movie just for the scene around 50 minutes where there's a bunch of snakes. And the music accompanied by all the actors screaming and having this like crazy reaction to snakes that goes on for like way too long had me laughing so hard. It's Cold Creek Manor. It's on Tubi for free, watching around 50 minutes, and it like you don't even have to watch the whole movie. Just go find that one part and watch it. I should probably see if it's on YouTube, because I need to watch that again today. I love that scene. It looks like they're having a great time. Like, it looks like it was so fun to film, because you just like run around screaming for and they're all like overacting, and oh, I'm sure that was such a fun day to film. The other movie we watched the other day, what was it called? I think it's called Opposite Day. It's a trash movie. It's like when you would buy in like the dollar movie bins. Opposite Day was on Amazon Prime in like the family movie section, and it's about like this machine that puts out a mist over the entire town, and it causes all adults to think they're kids and all kids to think they're adults, and the logic doesn't really add up 100%, but it's a fun movie, so it's not really supposed to, I guess. But Ariel Winter is in it, the girl from Modern Family. She's the girl with black hair, the nerd girl from Modern Family, and she that's got to be her first movie that she ever did. And I don't think she's in Hollywood anymore. Like, I wonder if she's done acting. I think she's probably like a OnlyFans girl now, because I don't think I've ever seen her in another movie. I don't think she's a great actor either. I should put that out there. She doesn't have acting skills. She was great for the part in Modern Family. I like it. I like that show. But I mean, like, even the good actors in that show, by season like 6 or something, oh, that show was awful by season 6. It was like they had their contracts locked in and they could do whatever. They could act however bad they wanted. Acting bad. You know, it was just terrible. I remember pulling that show up and being like, I never watched the last 2 or 3 seasons. I need to just go back and try watching them. And I couldn't force myself to watch that. It was just, it was so bad. So bad. And, you know, it's hard to judge something that you haven't fully watched. I shouldn't speak too harshly about it, but I couldn't get like more than 2 or 3 episodes in. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to watch this anymore. It's so bad. It just felt like a very phoned in show by the end. But the first couple of seasons are really good. Really good. Nothing beats The Office, though. I wish... They've got Office locked away on... Oh, no. Shoot. I've got her face right there, and it shouldn't be there. I'll fix that in post. I'll fix it in post. It's movie speak. Alright, so... That's that panel. Besides the ground she's on. A sequel series. I'm sure that's gonna flop. That's gonna be so bad. Modern Family was like lightning in a bottle for the first few years. It'd be like trying to do The Office again. I don't think you could do The Office again. I even liked the few seasons after Michael Scott or what's his name? I just know him as Michael Scott now. Steve Carell. After he left, I thought the show wasn't terrible. It definitely lost a lot of its appeal once Steve Carell left. But I mean, it wasn't unwatchable like Modern Family. And once you capture like a certain magic in a show, you can't get it back. Once you lose it, it's gone. So I have no expectation on the Modern Family sequel being good at all. Okay, so let's get highlight. I'm gonna go ahead and use that hard round brush. Okay, it's probably time to play around with the honey effect, I guess we'll call it, where we see if honey's gonna look good. By the way, speaking of honey, I am a big fan of honey. I like honey. If you've ever eaten like a Chick-fil-A sandwich, you know, fried chicken on 2 buns, put honey on it because it transforms it. I had the best chicken sandwich I've ever had, like 2 days ago. I noticed they gave me like a giant chicken fillet. Is that what it's called? A giant piece of chicken. it was like exceeding the edges of the bun on every, like all around the bun. So that's how big this chicken was. So very large chicken piece, and I had to put 2 packets of honey on it, and it wasn't dripping off the side. So yeah, it was big, and it was like extra crispy. Oh, it's so good. I knew that I had something special in my hands. All right, we got the hose here. Let's create a new layer just for honey. Special honey. Did you ever see that song on like Reels where it's like this old person singing in a thrift shop? It's like what is she singing? It was some weird. It's very weird. Where you're like, what is happening? What is this? Okay, so this is normal. Let's try and multiply. Okay, I think this is looking good. Kind of looks like a snake or something. I'm gonna try a splatter brush too. Definitely gets a lot tinier speckles, tiny speckles. That's good. I mean, it looks more like a stain than actual honey, but I think that's okay. I mean, we don't want it to be too distracting and too busy. It's like a nice soft honey stain. What is she saying? Like, I don't want honey on my biscuits, or honey, I don't want honey. Now I feel like I need to Google that. Let's see. I don't want honey on my biscuits. I mean, it is. Okay, here it is. Yeah, taste the biscuit. This is it right here. If you've never seen that, you should watch it. It's very bizarre. I don't want honey sauce on my biscuit or something. It's just next level strange. Okay, let's see. We're going into the next panel. I should probably do honey on her. Where's my layers? Okay, there we go. You know what? Maybe trying to think. Because I did 2 versions. This version over here has honey colored on, but I'm not sure that looks good. I think I'd prefer this kind of honey when we're drawing it on the skin. Might have to... Yeah, that's not the right kind. That's a little too brown. I want it to look very orange. It's about the same color, right color. I'm gonna try to create some contour, like some drip. It's gonna kind of look like Chitara, I guess. Chitara was pretty sexy, especially if you like animal transformations. I bet that was definitely created for that crowd. I don't know what we're listening to. We've definitely gotten back into the relaxing music. I don't want no relaxing music. Tell you straight. probably just gonna color her orange. It looks like she's got honey like all over her. Okay, so I think that's gonna work out well. I was kind of, you know, I'm experimenting, playing around, figuring out what's gonna work and what won't. It kind of makes me want to see what it would actually look like for someone to have honey like dripping across their whole body. I'm sure there's pictures out there, so I might have to Google that after this. Probably not safe to Google that while live streaming, but that's gonna be interesting. I'm sure it's out there on the internet. I can't be the first person to think that would be interesting to see. Okay, let's get the right color. What's that meme? You've awakened something in me or something. I don't think that would be a scarring image. I think that would be something you'd be like, huh, I think I'll look at the one more picture. Don't mind if I do. I don't know what W place is. Alright, so let's see. I think I'm gonna kind of smooth this out a little bit. Too smooth usually does not look good to me. I guess it's kind of similar to when you see someone wearing too much makeup. But with the art, it feels like a little bit of seeing a mistake or two here and there is kind of fun. Kind of adds a little bit of interest. So I should probably quit while I'm ahead. Gotta stop fixing stuff. Alright, now I guess let's come in with the honey. That was kind of like a yellowish. Do I have the scatter brush? I should probably pull the scatter. I'm going to use the scatter brush a lot, I bet. So I should probably bring it further out. But I'm not sure I even like the scatter brush. I don't like that grit. Let's go with like a... The duster looks better to me. Kind of like soft, blurry speckles. I'm gonna grab my hard round brush again. Okay. I think that's looking good. There's going to be more honey around her mouth, but we'll do that at another time. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next panel. What should we do next? Let's just finish that hair up. The hair is kind of calling me, speaking to me. Oops. So I'm going to go from the bottom and also kind of come up with some darkness down here. I got distracted when I was talking about the scary movies, I guess. My list of scary movies I've been watching. What I didn't get to say was my favorite movie so far has been The Taking of Deborah Logan, or Logan Deborah. It's like an old woman, and the movie is kind of about an old woman who has Alzheimer's. That's kind of, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just going to say that. It's more than that, but you know, when you're getting into the movie, it's set up like an old woman who has Alzheimer's. And I really like scary movies. Like, my favorite type of scary movies involve the supernatural, something like paranormal spirits or demons, the mythology of that and stuff, rituals and dark magic, that kind of stuff. I really like those kinds of scary movies. Those are, I mean, I like all scary movies, but those are my favorite. So this was, I almost turned off the movie because there is definitely some cringe horror where, just because, I guess because it's a really old person. She's like, I don't know, she looks like she's 80, and there's some horror imagery in it with an 80-year-old who you're just like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Or, you know, like, oh, turn away, look. The fact that she's so old just like dials it up to 11, where it's like more than I want to see. But the movie was so good, and it received like a 90 some, maybe like a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It kind of has a little bit of a Blair Witch feel to it, but I wasn't that big of a fan of Blair Witch. I'm just kind of giving you a hint, but I would definitely recommend The Taking of Deborah Logan for scary movies this year. It's a relatively new movie, so there's a good chance a lot of people out there haven't seen it. I don't think I had ever heard of it. I think maybe I'd seen it, you know, a year or two ago on a streaming service. Never checked it out. Let me get my hairbrush out. Okay, she's been flattened, so she's extra wide, in case you're wondering. I wonder if we should go ahead and draw her. I'm going to try to remember that this is a flat person, so I shouldn't shade it like she's a three-dimensional person. So it's going to be odd. I'm wondering if I should use like action lines to shade, like shade in a direction. I'm hoping I can find the movie It Follows on a streaming service, or at least a free streaming service. You know, this year I've been trying to find movies that I haven't seen before. There's a digging through the bottom of the bin for a lot of these movies, so a lot of them are not good at all. Oh yeah, now I remember. I need to do like a dark. Area surrounding here, so it looks like there's a body that just climbed in there. I'm gonna try to do basically like ink this thing with color. The Finch film. What is the Finch film? I watched what was it, Gretel and Hansel, where it's the names reversed. Instead of Gretel, Hansel and Gretel, it's Gretel and Hansel. But that movie, I enjoyed the atmosphere in that movie, but kind of hated the ending. What was that? There was another movie that I hated the ending to. Oh, The Descent. Okay, so I watched The Descent because in this comic issue there's a lot of like diving into tight areas. So I was trying to get like a little bit of inspiration from the movie, and that movie has, I was trying to remember which movie I was getting confused with. Maybe there's like a Descent 2, but I definitely had a different memory of how the ending was different, where somebody actually makes it out of the cave and they're in like a shed in Kentucky, and there's a family or someone opens the hatch door to the cave and then like traps them down there or something like that. So it's like a false flag ending where you think they made it but they don't. This one was The Descent. The ending is so just stupid. I mean, the entire movie they're trying to get you with the jump scares, and it becomes a little overdone, and the ending is the person escapes, and then they follow the person escaping for, I don't know, like 5 minutes, and at the end of the 5 minutes, the ghost of the person from the movie, like her friend's ghost, just pops up into the passenger chair and it's like, jump scream. That's the end. It was just womp womp. So bad. Like, who thought that would be a good idea? But The Descent has some really cool imagery. It's kind of, it's like really good imagery when you can see what's happening. There's a lot of like, I have no idea what's happening because I can't see anything. But I thought that it does have some really cool cinematography. There's some amazing stills you can pull from that movie, I bet. And there's some like badass women characters. I think it would be, if that movie was made today, I think people would say it was a woke movie, because, you know, it's like an all-female cast, and some of these females are like way too lucky. But I mean, like, you know, just how movies go, where that person definitely would have died by now. Can't overpower or something like that. But anyways, it was a good movie. Maybe not one I would recommend unless you just really want to see some cool imagery, but the movie story is not good, and the amount of jump scares, the trying too hard to scare you was definitely there, and it just gets old. I hate when movies do that. Like, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Like, stop. Alright, so now let's do highlights. Trying to think, there's one scene I really liked in The Descent where it's like the really badass woman who does like the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing in The Predator, where like the room is full of like a red flare, definitely like pulling imagery and inspiration from Predator, and she like goes down under the water, which is basically like muddy water, bloody water, and she's like goes under the surface of the water and slowly comes up. I just love that kind of scene. It looks so awesome, and she looks like a badass. It very much looks like Lara Croft kind of thing, like the horror version of Lara Croft. And the actress did a really good job keeping her cool and looking amazing. But as far as story goes, that movie was kind of not really focused on trying to tell a good story, but just trying to do a horror movie. Epilogue 3 cover. There is an Epilogue 3 cover. The last issue had a cover, and it is Brittany sitting on top of Wendy in the elevator shaft and it's been filled with like blue juice. So I think I might pull that back up just a second, and let's fix that. I'm gonna unselect. Let's use the multiply layer now. And my voice is kind of cracking. Was it? Oh my gosh, I might not even I might not have done a cover for issue 3. That seems weird. Well, yeah, I guess I didn't, so probably have to figure out what to do about that. I think what happened was that was when I was working on the 2 commission covers for Kickstarter Volume 2, and so I probably got really confused in my memory. Okay, that's really dark. I might just try erasing. Use my eraser. Feels a little bit better. I noticed there's some little pinholes that I'll have to go back and fix later. I think I'm going to do the hair multiplied too. The only thing that remains now, I guess, is the eyes. And I forgot what color eye she has, so I'm going to do blue. clean up the ink right here. We'll do orange and oh, you know what? I forgot to do the fur over here. What I'm going to do about that is I am just going to copy and paste. Whoa, what the heck? Okay, so copy merged, edit, paste. This should be, yeah, much better. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So we're gonna select this, do inverse, and take it away, boys. There we go. All right, now we just have her dress. Ah, this music. I hate this music. Gotta remove this from the... Remove from playlist. Get away. I'd rather listen to this on repeat. All right, so the dress. Alright. Let's fix her mouth just slightly. I wonder if I should do like a multiply shadow. So we basically like select the inverse of that. try and multiply. Okay. The live stream is getting a little bit long, so I might be working. Let's say I'll do this panel right here, and then we'll call it quits on the live stream today. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the. We'll work on the blue portion first. I might be getting a little bit tired. Might need a little bit of a coffee. Maybe I'm getting dehydrated. It's a little bit hot. We're in fall over here, I guess, where it's like, 90 degrees during the day and then 60 degrees at night. Wake up like, oh my gosh, it's cold. Top Gun style. What's Top Gun style? Okay, so definitely need like a shadow under these feet down here. Let's make this is going to be an interesting thing to shade. I mean, we're definitely going for like a bondage aspect here where you try to make it look super tight. I'm going to turn it sideways to help me visualize this. I probably want to do like a hard edge, like a dark edge, and then kind of lighten it up from the base. I'm wondering how, the tighter it is, the less jaggedness you're gonna see. So let's try to, I guess, homogenize. Is that the right word? I'm gonna try to average out this line right here so it's not so jagged. Should probably pull up like a reference of like a leather suit or something like that, you know? That would probably help me get this looking realistic. Is that... Okay, so let's go ahead and do... I'm gonna try doing like a very rich, bright blue. Oh, that's rich. Marvelous, marvelous. Okay, I'm gonna do a very like smooth highlight. Try and kind of glaze her. And I'll come in with, maybe I'll come in with the push smudge tool if I need to. I've been wanting to experiment with that more. I think we need it even brighter. I kind of want it to look like a really tight dress, you know? She's wrapped in plastic. What do you call it? Plastic? Latex? And then I'll come in with the white. Let's do, I don't want texture. Let's just use the soft round. Probably shouldn't go too much with this. And now I'm going to use the square so we get some interesting shapes. I guess we'll see how different it looks without the light blue. I think it makes a big difference. So I'm going to come in here and we'll do light blue. Then white. Walter White on top. I'm going to try to use multiply now. I think that'll help. Let's put like a violet. I'm going to just try using the square real quick. Now let's do airbrush. I can never find that oops, I can never find it. Okay. Okay, so let's try the smudge, because I've been wanting to play around with that. I'm going to use the square. Let's use 10. That might be messing up the neat glaze look too much. Let's try going with like a wide. I guess we should only do it where there's the bins. Baby's got the bins. What is that song by the Radiohead? Oh, I can't listen to it. Dang it. I want to listen to it when I stop streaming. I think that's the name of the album, The Bins. I think this is working out pretty well. I like the push smudge stick. They always tell you you're not supposed to smudge stuff in art. Or at least my teachers did. I feel like a rebel. Okay, so that's pretty tight. Let's do the dress. I think I've been looking at the screen too long. I'm gonna take my hands off. Okay. I'm wondering, I think I'll try to do like 2. I want this to be real smooth right here. I'm trying to do 2 almost, I guess I'll call them edges. I'll do an edge down here. Do we do it flat there? I think so. Yeah, like I'm definitely ready to listen to new music. That's the first thing I'm doing when I stop the live stream is probably turn that Radiohead album on. Okay, so let's do a real nice clean stroke right here. Let's do red. Probably could have used the smudge right there. Okay, nice. That looks cool. Okay, so we're gonna go with the lights, and let's go ahead and try like an orangey. Okay. Let's go in with like a 4. Something real tiny. Reminds me of that song, "The Boys in Oklahoma Roll Their Joints All Wrong." What is that song? It's been ages since I heard that song, but gotta roll them tight. Alright, we'll just call that done. Move on to the pink. Hey, racer guy. Did you send your email today? I don't know. I don't think I've gotten an email from you. Maybe I did. I haven't read any emails. I'll have to check my junk mail folder. Okay, so let's do like a white. Let's get that. Continue the real nice highlight. I'm going to use the multiply. This song is weird. Oh, can't listen to this. Stop. That's not copyright free. Okay, so multiply. Let's come down the middle. There we go. All right, let's do the feet in this end and then we'll be done. Moving quick. Remove the supports. What is that from? It's like a British accent. So remove. Oh, I think that's from Monty Python. When they're doing the witch trial. Right? I probably should have just used non-contiguous there. Okay, so let's do soft. Airbrush. Get better at finding that airbrush fast. Let's see. I feel like I've got these songs memorized now from listening to them so much. I should probably turn it down so you guys don't have to listen to it. Ah, where is it? There it is. Okay, it's a little bit quieter now. I'm gonna come in with a highlight of the evening. It's the highlight. Should I do like a that's cool. Very theatrical looking right there. Probably spent way too much time on this panel. Okay, let's get this. Feet are kind of feet are hard to shade. Hades. Because I guess the forms are really not well defined. Those like triangles and stuff. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Is this? Let's come down with a. Go. Ah. All right, now what next? What next? What next? I'm gonna put a slight bit of highlight down here. Okay, maybe her hair next. And then we're done. Okay, there we go. Gotta add some honey. And this panel's done. What are we gonna oh, I forgot about the hose. Yeah, I think my eyes are starting to tell me to stop and look around because they're getting like not fuzzy, but I could feel something weird going on. Okay, the orange. Actually like that color orange. I'm just going to deselect and move freely around the page with my honey brush. Oct. And the panel's done except for the backgrounds. I'll come in at the very end and do backgrounds. I like to save those for last. Procrastination. But yeah, I like how that panel's turning out. Looks very theatrical. Oh, that's my stomach hungry. Yeah, it's definitely time for an afternoon snack. I don't like to eat lunches, I like to snack so I don't like fall over and collapse from being so tired. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me on this live stream. This is issue number 4 of the Epilogue, and pre-order. I like to do it the last Sunday of the month, which is really early in the month this month. So I think it's gonna work out to where it's what is it, October 26th? When is that? Yeah. So that's like as far into the far back into the month as it can go. So pressure's on. I might not have 8 pages. I won't have 8 pages ready. I'll have probably 6 pages ready. So maybe 7. Oh yeah, because we have the other page of the more cowbell that's going to be included with this. So thank you for stopping by. This has been a fun live stream. Lots of fun stuff in this issue. I hope you're enjoying the crazy imagery. Peace, love, and wackiness for your weekend. And see you next time.